Good morning, garden friends. I am up in my secret garden and it is 7:15 in the morning. It's supposed to be high 90s, high humidity today. And because of all the rain and the heat, I have neglected my secret garden and there is some damage. I don't know what's going on with my cosmos, especially with all the rain. I think I'm going to pull that out. I know I'm going to pull out those so-called dwarf sunflowers, the sunspots. I'm going to pull those out, get my rose bushes trimmed up here. The stuff that's in the front don't look too bad. My only issue is my angel wings. Did not seem to do well up here. And then my Texas Vertex. I think I'm going to need to trim it back a little more. I'm not going to do a hard pruning of it, but I'm going to get it trimmed back just to get it shaped up, because my goal is for this thing to grow up. It just seems to get wider and wider, so this is not the time to do a heavy pruning so that there is no damage. So first thing I'm going to do is, like I said, get the cosmos taken care of. I'm probably going to trim my mystic blue just to get that shaped up. It's looking just a little crazy. Let me turn the camera around so that you can actually see the full garden, and then how it ends up looking once I do my cleanup. Okay, so you see my cosmos. Now I don't know why, like this side is like real bushy but no buds. I don't like that brown look on there. So like I said, I'm gonna take that out. My milkweed is doing well right there on the corner, just waiting for it to bloom. Then I don't like how it's blending in. Like I said, I see new growth on my mystic blue, so I'm just gonna get it trimmed up, all the dead stuff. And then I think too, once I move the cosmos out of there, I'll be able to see my Gumfrena, and because that's doing well. Starry Night, you see how it's blending in. So I'm gonna go inside and cut like the new branches, the softer wood, so it's not that much damage. This side isn't too bad. Dusty Millers don't look too good, so I'm gonna get those guys pulled back. But like I said, this side isn't too bad. Now, the one thing that I'm gonna have to address in regards to my yarrow right there, we actually got gutter people coming out, because I do believe, as we keep seeing them, birds are making nests in our gutters and it's blocking it from draining, and I think that's why it ends up spilling over from the gutter. But we got somebody that's coming out next week that's going to be checking those gutters, because those gutters are actually brand new. My hobo is looking good. I'm going to go ahead and get my cannas cleaned up so that I can get, I do see where I can get another flush out of those. My fox gloves, I'm gonna have to clean those guys up too. My maiden grass, I don't know why this ended up doing it, but I'm gonna stake this up and then look at my white weddings. Like I said, the rain was so torrential, and then I can't stand that black when it dies back. And a lot of that is because of the moisture that it ends up holding, and then we end up having this high humidity. Now my sweet peas look like they are done, but I'm not going to dig those up. I think I'm going to take some of those pods off so I can get some of those seeds, because this fall I am going to end up splitting that with some of my friends. Get the rose bush. Like I said, look how that's doing. Got buds on it, but they're not opening up, and that just surprises me with all the rain. And like I said, I don't like that spilling over. I do know the sunflowers that I do like, that I actually ended up planting more seeds, those guys have died back. But like I said, I'm gonna get those guys cleaned out. Definitely these ones. Look at that, let me show you. The bees are loving this. That's probably about the only thing that I don't like, but I have enough stuff in this garden for the bees and pollinators to enjoy. And then I'm gonna stake up my zinnias, because look at that, they're just spilling over, and they have like tons of buds on them. These are so pretty. So I'm gonna get these guys staked up. Anything that needs to be deadheaded. I see there's some powdery mildew on there, but I'm gonna get all those leaves off of there. And then that'll open up down here where I have my verbena. That is a perennial. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of cleanup. I just stepped on a plant, not watching where I'm going. I think I'm gonna start back here and get all of this dead stuff cut off of white wedding, get it staked up so that it just looks uniform along with maiden grass. Okay, so I'm going to be using two types of stakes. I'm going to use these green ones for my maiden grass, and then the bamboo to hold up the white wedding hydrangeas once I get all of this dead stuff cut off. And for the maiden grass, I'm going to use these plant twist ties. I don't want anything that is super heavy, even though the stalks on them are pretty thick, but I just don't want it to be too confining for it. That way, staking it out, it just looks more orderly. Now let's tackle the hydrangea here. The dead ones off, that's staked up. Let me go get my pop-up that's over here. All right, guys, the sun's not even over here, but like I said, it's supposed to be humid today. That is why I am trying to get this done. And I wish I could. I probably could. Some of these ones that just have the brown down here, take them in the house and get some enjoyment out of it. Maybe that's what I'll do too. And for those of you that saw my short about, how the hydrangeas in my backyard got damaged. This is mild compared to what happened back there. So, like I said, just gonna try to get it cleaned up so I can stake these guys up, go from there. I think I'm just gonna cut them, and then the ones that I can end up taking in the house, I'll do so. And then this is the other thing about, the white weddings. I could cut these all the way down to 10 inches and they would still flourish because of the type of hydrangea that it is. So I'm not worried about me trimming this back. And I think too, trimming it back will help take some of the weight off. Yeah, look at that. Look how beautiful those are. To see when they end up laying on top of each other, that's what causes it. Like I said, for the browning. You get all get all that water that gets trapped, and then you have the high humidity. That's what does this. And the fact that I can see in here, you know, if I see dead leaves, I want to get them out of here. And then too, by lifting this up, my veronicas are covered. Oh, and I gotta be careful because when we were cleaning up in the back, bees were like passed out in the flowers because we were up early. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and finish getting this pruned. I'll get back on camera and I move to the cosmos because I think that, no, I'm gonna do my rose bush first, then move to the cosmos, but I'll get back on camera after I get the hydrangea cleaned up. All right, guys, I got it staked up. Oh, let me turn this around so you can see it. Look how pretty that is. And what you guys may not realize, this is actually 2 white weddings. And aside from staking it, oh God, it's so hot. As you can see, that sun is coming up over here. I ended up doing was the ones that had the damaged plumes on them. When I cut them down, it was more of a thicker stem. So what I ended up doing, just to make sure I kept the air circulation so that it wouldn't get brown because of the humidity, I took some of the smaller branches and tied it to them with the twisty ties. So this is looking really nice. Guys, like I said, that sun is coming up. I'm getting ready to do the roses and pull out the cosmos and the sunflowers before that sun gets over here. I mean, like I said, I am already sweating. So I'm gonna go off camera, get as much as I possibly can done before sun comes up, and then probably later on in the evening finish the rest. I ain't gonna fool y'all. You know, with this sun, it is no joke in the high humidity, but at the same time, I want to practice safety. I'm gonna knock out as much as I can now, and then later on today, finish the rest of it out. So, you guys know how I do. I'm getting ready to knock this out. All right, I got my knockout rose all cleaned out. I tell you guys, this is what makes it all worth it. When you can get things cleaned up. I pulled out cosmos. I think I'm just gonna refigure out, because I love the cosmos, but just figuring out something else that I will be putting in teddy bears. Sunflowers that I'm growing from seed, that I'm doing a succession. Because I pulled those out, those will get put in here once they start to sprout. I cleaned up Mystic Blue, got all the dead stuff off, but anything that was still looking really good, I left on there. I'm gonna get this big guy out of there.
Did you call me?
I ended up staking up hydrangeas, and then I'm gonna go over here and start getting this cleaned out, so it just has a little more order to it. So I'll show you that when I get this area done. All right, guys, I got everything done. Look how nice my hydrangeas look, my maiden grass. I got my rose bush all trimmed. While I hated taking the cosmos out, I wasn't doing what I like. I trimmed up my mystic blue, and the bees are loving the new growth on there. I moved my pink wands that were buried back there over in the spot where I had some cosmos. Staked up my zinnias, trimmed back and took off all the dead petals off of my Starry Night. I also trimmed the Texas Vertex. Like I said, we are trying to train this to be a tree, so have to stay on top of all of the soft wood because we didn't cut back any hardwood so it wouldn't get damaged with this heat. But yeah, this looks so much better. I just like that nice orderly look. The one thing that I am noticing is my angel wings are not doing too well up here. I don't believe they're a perennial for us, but I'm going to let them die back and see what ends up happening. The other side, just more or less took out the dusty millers that weren't doing too well. Strapped up this garrow until we get the gutter people come out and get these cleaned. Like I said, my Bobo is looking amazing. I went back here and cleaned up my foxgloves, got like all the dead stuff off. So I am really, really happy with how this has turned out. So I went ahead and the hydrangeas that did not do well up in the secret garden, I clipped some and brought them into the house. All right, guys, even with the sun directly over here, it's going down a little bit. I'm really happy with how, the garden looks. And, that's the one thing about gardening. I don't know about you guys, but I changed my mind so much because I like experimenting with plants. I think one of the things that I have come to realize, while I love the cosmos, the feel that I want back here, and on this side of the flower bed may not be ideal for it. So I think I'm still gonna do cosmos for next season, but put it on the opposite side of the garden. And hopefully that will allow it to be more successful, because it did seem like the base of it was burning. And this side of the secret garden gets sun, but it's not as intense as this side, because from 9:30 until the sun pretty much sets, that sun is beating over there. So, like I said, that's the thing about gardening is learning from your mistakes. Was it a mistake for me to grow cosmos? No. Was it a mistake for the location that I put it in? I think that is more of my dilemma. So I am happy with how this has turned out. You guys have no idea how stressful I was about my hydrangeas, because those are my pride and joy. Well, thank you again for visiting
Inspiring Garden Corner.
If you guys enjoy my content and want to take this journey with me, I welcome you. So please subscribe and like my page. And I look forward to you checking out my next video.